is that guy?
He's like Iron Man and Thor rolled into one.
He's no Spider-Man.
What is it with you and Spider-Man?
What, he looks out for the neighborhood, has a dope suit, and I really respect him. Sup, dickwad?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel over here at Broke Boy Media. And today we're going to be reviewing Spider-Man Far From Home. My name is Christian, and I'm joined by Devin. How are you doing today, buddy?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. You know, it's July 3rd. We saw Spider-Man yesterday. Tomorrow's the 4th. I have off. I think you have off too. So it's pretty good. I can't complain, but I do have to go back into work on Friday though, which kind of sucks. But hey, that's just how the cookie crumbles, I guess. But yeah, so I guess we'll just start off by doing a few non-spoilers overall for this review, and then we'll get into a spoiler section. We'll let you guys know once we hit that point, because since the movie just came out yesterday on the 2nd, we want to give people time to, view the movie and share their thoughts, feelings, comments, and concerns. But I'll just read the synopsis really quick, and then we'll just get into like non-spoiler section. So following the events of Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man must step up to take on new threats in a world that has changed forever. And of course, what they're talking about is the snap that happened in Avengers Endgame. This is more so, I would say, obviously Spider-Man Far From Home ends phase 3. It wasn't Endgame that ended phase 3. This is more of I guess you could say an epilogue in a way. To kind of wrap up a few little aftermath moments here or there, or at least for one of the heroes. But yeah, I think the events of this happens pretty much right after the events of Endgame, and they pretty much explain, the whole snap and how people are affected and why everyone's back in school and whatnot.
They explained it so perfectly too.
Yeah, they really did, and it was a great, it was a nice save, and it was really funny how they went about it, especially during the very beginning of the movie. I was so lost for a second. I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. It's but what were your initial thoughts about the movie before you went to go see it in theaters, just based off of the trailers?
Just nothing but hype.
Yeah,
especially since like the past week or so, people have been seeing it and just giving it so much praise. Like, I've not seen a bad review. I've only seen like amazing reviews from people. Yeah,
well, I saw one bad review, but it was this dude on Twitter, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't really expect much," and like he was being super negative about it. I'm like, well, if you're walking into a movie and you're having this negative mindset that it's not going to be good, then of course you're going to be nitpicking the entire time. But like a lot of people nowadays don't know how to just go to a movie and enjoy it, instead of like trying to nitpick through like the entire time that you're trying to see it. Obviously, like when you're reviewing it or critiquing it, I mean, that's fine. For critics, that's their job. This dude wasn't even a critic. It was some random guy on Twitter. But I I heard nothing but great things, and I had to be very wary because there was a lot of spoilers out there, and there still are.
Yes.
So
I got one tiny thing spoiled for me, but it wasn't that big of a deal.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll talk about that in the other section, because I want to know what part it was, because you were telling me earlier, you're like, oh, like I know something small. I'm like, don't tell me, just don't say anything. You're like, all right. I'm like, I want nothing spoiled, so I made it to the theater spoiler free.
It's so weird how some people like us don't want any spoilers, but then there's other people that like look up exactly what's going to happen before they see it.
Yeah, I mean, some people, when they go to the movies, they like to know what's going to happen before the movie comes out. I mean, I just know people who are like that. It's really weird, but I guess it's more of they want to know what they're getting into before they go see it. And they're like, oh yeah, I still enjoy it, but I just kind of want to know, what the laydown is, or whatever you want to call it. Just this feel of everything. But yeah, man, I would probably have to rank this as, and I know a lot of people like hold like Spider-Man 2 to high regards, but I think this is probably the best Spider-Man film we've had, and that's very close to Spider-Verse, even though that's not MCU. Oh my gosh, honestly.
Yeah, I think Spider-Verse is still #1 for me, but this is definitely like really close up there.
Right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, because I mean, I love Spider-Verse is just as much, but I'm like, something about this, I was like, oh man, but it's a tough call. I mean, IMDb right now is showing it at a 8.2 out of 10. I know it was close in the 90 range on Rotten Tomatoes for a while. I think it still is.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you know, there's a few twists and turns, and like there was one of them that I figured out that I knew what was going to happen, but I still enjoyed it when it happened because I didn't know how it was going to happen.
Yeah, they pulled it off really well.
Yeah, I was just like, whoa! I'm like, hold on. But Jake Gyllenhaal, man, did a great job as Mysterio. The whole cast.
Coming into it, you could have never imagined Mysterio being like a good, like, fun villain, because in the comics and the TV shows, he's just like this lame magician guy. Fishbowl.
Right, and he's all about, you know, deceitful tactics. But honestly, I would say he's probably like the #2 villain. Well, let's see. Probably the #2 villain next to Thanos. Spot in the MCU wise in general. I mean, I love Loki. Don't get me wrong. Killmonger was great too, but like his performance was just wow. Like never skipped a beat. He was just all about it 24/7.
Yeah, I've wanted Gyllenhaal to make an MCU appearance for a while now, but I finally got it.
I'm glad it was I'm glad it was this movie for sure. But do you want to just head right into spoilers really quick?
Oh yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
All right, everyone, we're going to be heading into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, turn back now. And we're just gonna head into spoilers. Now we're in the spoiler section. So yeah, clap my hands. And now we're in the spoiler section.
J. Jonah
Jameson! Oh,
that's,
dude,
that's the part that got spoiled for me. I just knew that.
Did it really? Oh, I'm glad you didn't tell me, dude, because that it wouldn't have ruined my experience, but like I would have been waiting for it to happen. But like, I'm glad that. Look, his secret's out. Everyone knows.
I love how he's basically Alex Jones now.
Yeah, pretty much.
This idiot on the internet.
Exactly. I mean, in general, I mean, Peter's his identity is out to the world. I mean, only a few people knew it at first, but I mean, Mysterio, he
got the last laugh.
He did. I was like, ooh, I was so mad. I was like, wow, he's really doing Peter dirty right now. Like,
do you think he lived? Mysterio?
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did. For sure.
Sinister Six has to be coming. They've already
absolutely.
Set up at least 3 of them. Because Vulture was amazing, and then Scorpion was at the end of Homecoming.
Yeah, and I knew, and I had a feeling that Mysterio was, you know, secretly the bad guy. But for like a while, I was like, you know what? Maybe he isn't.
Using the alternate universe tactic to make us think he's a good guy was so smart by them.
Yeah, but then again, did the Infinity Stones actually tear a hole in the dimension?
Yeah, it's definitely still a possibility.
Yeah, it's so many new questions. But even with Maria Hill and Nick Fury, I was like, holy crap! There's Nick Fury's out in space.
I was like, have they been Skrulls this whole time? But now after a couple of days, it's like, okay, maybe it was just this movie where Nick Fury took a break.
It would have been a little disappointing if they were Skrulls the entire time, because I was like, there's no way that they are. And then when they showed, you know, Nick Fury on his
fake beach,
fake beach, his computer simulated fake beach, I was like, oh, okay, he's up in space with the rest of the Skrulls. But that was very interesting because for a while, like, I thought there was something off about Nick Fury in the movie. I'm like, he's kind of acting like him, but not like entirely. And I was like,
he was acting like what, really stern.
Yeah, like more stern than usual. Like
it seemed like it was someone trying to portray Samuel L. Jackson, which is what it was.
Yeah, exactly. But like it was, oh my gosh, dude, it was great. Like I didn't see that coming at all. So many twists and turns in this movie. And even
and
with
that's just the end credits scene.
Yeah, those, like, we just been talking about the two post credit scenes. There's so much more. Like, I mean, just Peter during the beginning of the movie being very shaken up about Iron Man's death, and everyone's giving him this attention, like, oh, like, are you the next Iron Man? Who's gonna be the next Iron Man? Blah blah.
Yeah,
blah.
There's like an Iron Man reference or like a visual in almost every scene.
Pretty much.
Felt like.
But like during the very beginning with the poorly edited Whitney Houston PowerPoint, PowerPoint slide of all the fallen Avengers.
Deadpool flashbacks. I got Deadpool flashbacks when the song started playing.
But like I laughed so hard as soon as they showed Vision's picture. It was so grainy. I was like, what is this? I'm like,
I also thought it was interesting that they called it a blip because everyone on Earth doesn't know that a snap happened.
Right. Yeah. So
they don't know what
listening,
Thanos is.
Right. Yeah. So that was very interesting in general, because even the Asian kid who was he was like this little kid when he first blipped, and then he came back and he was
Brad.
Like, was it Brad? Was it? Yeah, that's right. Oh
he
my
gosh. Being one of the antagonists, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, essentially, he was. He was really funny though. I like the rivalry. I like the rivalry between him and Peter versus him and Flash. I mean, obviously, Flash is there being a dick, but how was your audience like when you went to go see the movie? Like, did they laugh at like the clearly like funny parts or?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of laughing.
See, like there was laughter in mine, but like there were some parts where I saw like it was when Peter had Edith, like Tony's glasses on, and it was she was like looking at everyone's text messages right before the whole incident with Peter going into like that one outhouse in Europe, and the one lady's like, take off your clothes. And then Brad walks in on him thinking that he's like trying to date like a Europe prostitute.
Yes.
That was great. But like when he first puts on the Edith glasses and he's looking at all the text messages, Flash just says something about like is Mother coming to pick me up from the airport? Like, have you heard from Mother or something like that? I thought it was so funny. I was like, oh my God. It was like a quick hot second.
He brought it up when they got to the airport too. He said
he did. And I
mother,
thought that was
I wonder what that's about. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
They kind of set something up.
Maybe. I mean,
does it? I know Flash turns into something in the comics.
Well, Flash Thompson turns in. There's the Scarlet Spider, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's like in a different universe. But another thing I was kind of confused by, because Mysterio said that MCU universe is 616, but I thought it was like universe 9999. Because I'm pretty sure they mentioned that, or it was like mentioned by Kevin Feige or someone like a while ago. But that was just a small little issue that I had. But
that's one way the audience might have known that he was a fake.
That is very true. Yeah, he said he was from like Earth like 513 or whatever. But Peter's like geeking out. He's like, oh my God, there's a multiverse. And I was like, oh.
And then Mysterio drops the line, "Don't ever be like afraid to be the smartest man in the room." And I was like, "Ooh, he's buttering him up."
Oh yeah, dude. He befriended him so hard, dude. For a while.
Gyllenhaal was so good.
He had me going. I was like, okay, maybe Mysterio like isn't the real villain, because in Homecoming with Liz's dad, like when I first saw, like I had no freaking clue that he was Vulture at all. I was like, holy crap! As soon as he turns around, I was like, wow. And as soon as Peter walks up to the door to pick up Liz for Homecoming, I was like, oh my God, did not see that coming at all. But yeah, dude, oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. The Night Monkey reference. That was great when Peter
Tingles.
His Peter Tingles. I told you not to call him that. Aunt May like throws a banana at him. She's like, I thought your spider sense supposed to go off. But like
Aunt May is just too fine. Oh my God.
She really is, dude. Between her and Happy, that whole like, what do they call it? Well, towards the end of the movie,
summer fling. Summer fling. She called it.
She called it summer fling, and he thought it was something else, and they're going back and forth. Peter's like, now I've had to, let out a lot of secrets within the past like week or so. So what's going on between you two? It was great. But I think the Night Monkey reference when when Ned and Betty started dating. Like, is that Spider-Man?
I love you, babe.
Like, no.
I love you, babe.
babe, coming, babe. The entire time, and Peter's like, "What just happened?" And he even says that earlier in the film. I mean, just overall, man, this movie was just full of heart and just Peter still mourning over Tony, and you know the fact
I'm trying
that
to fill into Tony's shoes, and then he gets Edith. What did Edith stand for? It was like every day.
It was every day. I can't remember. It's
something about Tony.
So something about, even though he like died, he still, I can't really remember what it was. But that drone attack was so funny when he first puts on the glasses, and he's like, "I need you to target Brad."
Brad
freaking sends a rocket from like outer space or whatever it was. I was like, "Oh my god!" Literally, just almost put his entire class field trip in jeopardy. But
it's kind of funny with those glasses. He basically has the Watchdog's powers.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, that is very true.
Hack anyone's phones and use drones.
But yeah, it's. I really hope there is a multiverse, or it's something to. I think maybe that can lead to the X-Men being brought in, because that would be a really good way to bring them in, instead of, oh, you know, like we were here the entire time, or people were thinking that, oh, you know, maybe this snap like created you know, the power or the ability for mutants to be born. But
it's just cool that they mentioned it, so they at least, like, it's like in their mind at least.
Yeah,
probably gonna bring it on down the line.
Oh, absolutely. But I really enjoyed you know, Peter making his new suits with the white spider on the back.
That was one of the best parts. And then Back in Black starts playing.
He's like, you handle this. Happy's like, you handle the suit, I'll handle the music.
Just a straight flashback to Iron Man 1.
It really was. It was great. I mean, and they didn't like shove it in your face like, oh, he's going to be the next Tony Stark. He's going to be the next Tony Stark. Because for the longest time, he felt like he felt like it was his responsibility to find the next Tony Stark. But even Happy was saying that he's like, you know, he's like, no one can be the next Tony Stark, not even Tony and himself. And it really shows that, you know, the one person minus, you know, Morgan and Pepper and Happy, like the person who was closest to Iron Man, or, you know, Tony, besides Cap, was Peter. And he was just so shaken up about it, and it really shows the I guess you could say the superhero and like normal work-life balance of Peter when, you know, they're going to the opera, when it was like a 4-hour opera show, and he's been planning on telling MJ, you know, the entire time that he wants, you know, how he feels about her and everything like that. And I mean, obviously she's clearly like someone interested, but for a while I thought that she wasn't, because when she asks, you know, when he starts to tell her that, you know, like, oh, you know, I have feelings for you, and she's like, oh, like, you're gonna tell me that you're Spider-Man? And he's like, what? No. And then like after a while, he's like, I am Spider-Man. She's like, what? She's like, are you sure?
I was like 67% sure.
Yeah, she's but like for a second there, I really felt for Peter when she was like, wait, like, have you only been watching me because you thought it was Spider-Man? And then obviously, you know, her not wanting to say that she has feelings for him too first, she was like, oh yeah, she kind of just used it as like a scapegoat. I was like, oh man, that really sucks. But it was, oh man, this movie was just amazing.
I love that they fleshed out MJ a lot more than they did in Homecoming in this one. She was kind of just in the background in Homecoming with this.
Yeah, and honestly, I like MJ more than Liz. Like, Liz was cool, but like, obviously, you know, she was just like a crush. She was older than him by like a year or two, I'm pretty sure, in Homecoming. But yeah, I really do like how it was a little high school romance.
And I keep seeing people call her Mary Jane, but that's not her name.
No, it's not.
It's Michelle Jones.
Yeah, Michelle Jones. That's right. So yeah, it's not Mary Jane, but it is MJ. Yeah, it's MJ. And I mean, I've seen people on Twitter like, oh, like this isn't Mary Jane. I'm like, well, no, it's not Mary Jane. And again,
it's literally not.
Yeah, people, I don't know. For everyone listening at home, it kind of gets under my skin when that kind of stuff happens. When people think that every single like superhero movie has to go by the books, and that's not necessarily true because look at Thor. Thor acts nothing like he does in the comics.
Thank God.
Because like they tried that out and look where it landed him.
Yes.
But like he humanized Thor. He made him more
relatable.
Personable and relatable in general. I mean, it's just the way it is. For some characters it works, for some it doesn't. Not everything that's adapted. Not everything can be adapted well from book or comic in general onto a movie screen because it just doesn't work. In Game of Thrones, Sir Jorah Mormont in the books, he has like this crazy wild like blue hair. Like, how do you think that's gonna look on a TV screen? Like, no, they're gonna make him. He still has the characteristics and the personality of Jorah in the show, but they're not gonna make him look exactly like he is in the books. Like from book to screen, it just doesn't work. Like for a lot of things, not everything is transferable like that. But I don't know. That's just my little 2 cents about it. But yeah, I do agree. It's just a version of MJ, but it's not Mary Jane. It just so happens that her initials are MJ, and it works. So it is what it is. Zendaya did a great job. She really did. Yeah. I forgot, how old is she?
20, early 20s probably.
Yeah. I think you're right.
I love how she like kind of opened up like the later half of the movie when she kind of got more involved.
Yeah, and the fact that she's said that she has issues with like kind of opening up to people, or the fact that she is like she's weird, but she's not like Aubrey Plaza weird, but she's kind of like grim in a way, kind of bleak, but she's
Black Dahlia, like the murder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but she still knows how to like make people laugh, and they kind of everyone's like, oh, well, like this relationship came out of nowhere. I'm like, well, I mean, time kind of passes, like I mean, guys are interested all the time. He was supposed to be a bachelor going to Europe with Ned, but then Ned goes on like, how long were they there for? Oh my gosh, maybe like a week or two. I can't remember. He goes on his little European relationship fling with Betty Brands.
Yeah,
that was great stuff, man.
How cool was Mysterio's reveal? That was so well done.
It really was. Like when they're sitting in the bar and he's trying to ask Peter like, what do you want to do, and whatnot, and Peter kind of just snaps. He's like I want to hang out with my friends, but like that's Peter Parker to a T, because he's always struggling, him being Spider-Man and trying to live a normal life, because it seems that even with Tony Stark, like I would say Tony still had somewhat of a normal life, even though he was a superhero. But the difference between Tony and Spider-Man at the time, now that his entire secret's out, only like a few people knew who he actually was. So it's kind of like, he doesn't want to put his loved ones in danger and yada, 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 all that stuff. But I kind of like how they outed Peter, because, I mean, as much as I like the, whole secret identity thing, it's just like, it's kind of silly now, because, I mean, pretty much every other Avenger, everyone knows who they are. Like, yeah, they have costumes. Yeah, like Steve Rogers has a mask, but people know who Captain America is. And I think that it works better this way now, that because Peter was really the only one who, I mean, I don't really know. People really know if T'Challa is Black Panther or whatever, like just worldwide. But now with Peter, it's like it creates another problem for him, because like we've had a movie of him with Homecoming. He wants to be a superhero and he's trying to do the right thing, but he's messing up, and You know,
It's just the classic conflict of a superhero
yeah,
having to protect his friends and family from villains.
Especially in this one, they kind of delve deeper into it, and him just wanting, because in the first, in Far From Home, he wants to, you know, do more as a superhero. But this one, after everything that's happened in Endgame, he kind of just wants to lay low and hang out with his friends, being a normal kid. But now I think we're gonna get like whatever his third film will be, because normally every superhero, every MCU movie, Marvel character gets 3 movies at least, unless we see a Thor 4, which would be awesome. But
And leave it to the MCU to have like the perfect tie-in for Mysterio, because he uses the barf projection technology.
yeah, that was insane, dude. I was like, how did he even like? First was like,
I remember back when we saw that in Civil War, we were like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's just showing younger Tony Stark, and we were like, oh, that must just be a throwaway thing.
Yeah, so Beck was like there technically, even though obviously Jake Gyllenhaal probably was not in that movie.
Yeah, he was added in after. But yeah, he was like, he invented barf, and Tony Stark just like laughed at it.
Yeah, so like I like that tie-in as well. That like, oh, like I was there. People are gonna like go back and watch Civil War and be like, where is that? Where's that son of a bitch?
And I like how he like gathered up all these disgruntled ex-employees, like the guy that was like his head like tech guy kind of. He was in Iron Man 1.
Well, was that actually the same guy? Because if that was it?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And you know who that actor is?
No, I don't.
It's the kid from A Christmas Story.
What? Oh my gosh. That's insane. But yeah, I really like that tie-in though. I'm like, okay, you know, like why is Mysterio here? Why is he doing that?
Because it could have been so lame. He was just like, oh, I'm just a master of illusion. I just want to take over the world.
Or like, yeah, if he accidentally just like came through like a wormhole or whatever, like a vacuum of space, and he's like, oh, there's another, because like it was weird, because I don't know if there is another multiverse, because that means that there will be another Spider-Man, and he doesn't even mention that like there is another Spider-Man. You know what I mean? So that was kind of weird. That was very just but I liked it a lot. And the more I think about this movie, the more I like it.
Just MCU just does so well of tying and stitching in every movie to each other.
Oh, for sure. And you know, they're gonna have their little faults, whatever. But like that happens in big movie franchises. Like, there's gonna be some inconsistencies. But now I think moving forward, you know, they're gonna have less of them. As least as many as they possibly can in general. But I loved it, man. It was, I don't even know what else to say about it. I liked it a hell of a lot better than Spider-Man 2. The Peter making his new suit and everything. I really do dig that new suit.
There's one more thing that I want to talk about.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
Like the nightmare sequence that Mysterio put him into.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that.
That's one of the best scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Like straight up, like that.
He got hit, like so amazing. As soon as he was done, he got hit by a freaking bus. Did not see, or the train. Sorry, did not see that. Came out of freaking nowhere. I actually jumped in my seat for a second. I was like, Jesus! Like, what just happened in Spider-Man? Like,
and then in the middle of it, it shows like Tony Stark's grave, and he's like, "You could have saved him," and then a zombie Iron Man comes out. It was so good.
That was really good.
It kind of reminded me of
Scarecrow.
Yeah, Scarecrow in the Arkham games.
Yeah,
those were always so fun to play. Now seeing it in a movie, it was just so cool.
For sure, man. It's
and it's all done while he's like Mysterio's just walking around in like a green screen suit, just like
I thought that was so funny. I'm like, I bet you that's his actual green screen suit that he's supposed to be wearing like at all times while he's filming.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, John Watts, the director, he did a great job. I can't remember was there a Stan Lee cam? I can't remember if there was or not. I don't think so. I didn't think there was, because I read somewhere that his last cameo was supposed to be Far From Home, but then someone else had told me like, no, it's just Endgame. So I didn't really know what to believe, but now we know, because I had to think about it. I was like,
his name was in it a few times, but I don't think I ever saw him.
Yeah, Steve Ditko and Stan Lee, which I really appreciate, because I mean, as much as I love Stan Lee, you know, Steve Ditko did you know, help create Spider-Man in general, which I really glad. I'm glad that they gave him credit, even though he's been dead for a while. But oh my gosh, man!
And then at the climax, Peter finds out or like discovers how to control his Peter tingles a little better.
Yeah.
He's able to get through the illusions and fight off those drones.
Yeah, because normally his spider sense only happens when he's in danger. So like, Aunt May throwing a banana in his face he's not in any danger. So it's like it's not threatening. So that's they even explained that in I think it was in Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he actually has to be in danger when that happens.
And then he learns from the past and doesn't fall for the Mysterio.
Dude, he played him. He straight out played
I just remember seeing his arm reach out and then the gunshot. I was like, whoa. And then he turned around and
dude, that tripped me up so much. It was insane. I just whew.
Yeah, the first nightmare sequence, he really got him with Nick Fury there. He's like, who else did you tell? I need to know. And he's like, okay, thanks.
Right, I was like, damn, Nick, all right. This is kind of odd, but yeah, I definitely the J. Jonah Jameson thing was because he was at the red carpet show for the world premiere, and I was like, I bet you he's in this movie because everyone saw Natalie Portman at the Avengers at Avengers Endgame world premiere, and they're like, oh, is she in the movie? More than likely, in some way, shape, or form, yes, they are in the movie.
I remember a little while ago, Lights Camera Barstool had him on it for an interview.
Yeah.
And they asked him if he ever wanted to do it again, and then he said he would love to do it. And I guess he knew at that point.
He is the embodiment of like I can't.
I love how they modernized him too. It's so good. He runs a fake news site and everything. It's so perfect.
It's great. And it was like, well, he's supposed to work. Peter's supposed to work for him. I'm like, well, he still can. I mean, Peter's still in high school. During all this, during the original Spider-Man trilogy, it was transition from high school to college. So, of course, he's gonna have a job. But yeah, that new suit, man. Whew. I was like, okay. I even like the black suit in general. I thought it was great. I mean, it's a little incognito. Like it's no symbiote suit, but I liked it. But yeah, when he made that new suit, I was like, oh, okay. It's more reminiscent of his original suit from Amazing Fantasy before Marvel was Marvel. During his first issue comic, looks the color scheme with a darker navy blue. Because for a second I'm like, that's not black. Because I'm like, no, it's blue. But is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we give our scores?
So where does this rank for you among all the Spider-Man movies? Is it number one for you?
Yes, because it is a tie between Spider-Verse and Far From Home. And honestly, I mean, I still love Homecoming because when I first saw it and I didn't know what to expect because I didn't see Homecoming when it first came out in theaters. And I was like, man, like I really hope they, don't do the whole like Uncle Ben thing anymore, even though he had Uncle Ben's briefcase in Far From Home, which I thought was a nice little touch. But it's like, it's been done so many times. Like I fell in love with Spider-Man like all over again. And yeah, I think Far From Home is definitely my number one. It's tied with Spider-Verse for sure. MCU wise, it's probably in my top 5 favorites.
Top 5, wow.
Yeah,
I think it might be in my top 10. Definitely not top 5. I don't think.
I got you. So what about you, Spider-Man wise? I mean,
so Spider-Verse is definitely one for me. Like it's still not gonna get beat anytime soon. I don't think.
Yeah.
But this definitely Far From Home definitely passed Homecoming for me. I liked Homecoming, but sure. I think this was just better. And I'd have to rewatch the first trilogy because it's been a while.
Well, it's probably on Vudu, my friend. You can watch it whenever.
It's probably above those though. Yeah. Just because I'm not sure how well those have aged. We'll see though.
Okay, like I mean, but the first Spider-Man movie is very comic booky, just in general. Like it really, I don't know. Like, I mean, I like the Sam Raimi trilogy, but it's not like my favorite. But I mean, for the longest time, it's all we had. So it's like people had no choice but to like it.
And then we have these awkward 2 movies in the middle of these 2 series. That
With Andrew Garfield
in there.
People are like, people are arguing on Twitter that like since Spider-Man PS4 Insomniac Games added the 2 new suits from Far From Home in the game. I'm actually downloading it right now, and that's probably what you're seeing on the screen right now because I decided to kind of, like, okay, we're gonna be talking about Spider-Man Far From Home. Let's just put some Spider-Man PS4 gameplay in with, doing a few missions with him in his new suit. So I figured yeah. So we're not just, people aren't just staring at a still image if you're watching it on YouTube. And people are getting mad that I saw actually today that the Andrew Garfield suit hasn't been added yet. And this one guy was saying, oh, it's only fair. The other 2, Sam Raimi and all the MCU suits are in there. And someone's like, yeah, it's about fairness. And I commented, I was like, well, it's not like I said, I'm like, I hear what you're saying, but it's not about what's fair. It's about what's popular. And like, to be completely honest, the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 with Andrew Garfield, it just wasn't, they're not really memorable movies. Like
one was good, not great, but then 2 was a disaster.
Like if anything, I would say that I mean Tom Holland is the best embodiment we've had of Spider-Man and Peter Parker. With the Amazing Spider-Man movies, in my opinion, they're more of like it's like the best, like the love story between him and Gwen Stacy, because Gwen Stacy was his first love before MJ, and the fact that Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield at the time were dating, so it made it a little bit more natural.
Yeah, that's why the first one was pretty good, just because of that relationship.
But Amazing Spider-Man 2 was terrible. Oh my gosh. It was awful. But, each Spider-Man, they all brought something new to the table, but Tom Holland's the best. I'm sorry. Like, I understand that's my own opinion, but like, it just is. Like, he fits Peter's personality so well. He's likable. Everyone loves Spider-Man because Spider-Man's an underdog, and everybody loves an underdog in general. He is arguably more popular than Batman and Superman. Like, everyone knows who Spider-Man is. And yeah, everyone knows who Superman and Batman is as well, but arguably he's the world's most popular superhero. He just is. And I mean, if people want to get mad in the comments, they can, that's fine. But I'm just telling you the real deal as to what's happening and how things are. There's no disrespect to Batman. We love freaking Batman. I'm not too big of a superhero fan myself, but I mean, I know a lot of people who are, and I understand why people like him. But for me, I'm more of a Goku guy. That's just me in general. But Japanese Superman, the one who has limits, and we're not going to get into that. Anyway, scores. What would you rank this out of 100, Devin?
I'm feeling a 93. Super, super solid.
Ooh, I feel it. I'm gonna give it a 95 because there's always room for error, whatever it may be. I'll definitely go back to see it within a few weeks. Got a few more other movies like The Lion King and possibly Midsummer. I don't know if Stuber and that one Asian movie. Oh my gosh, what was it? We were just talking about it the other day.
I forgot what it's called.
I forgot what it's called too, but I think it's an indie film. And a few others, honestly. Oh my gosh! Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There's so many other movies. We are halfway through the summer, not even, and all these great movies are coming out. I know some of them have been kind of hit or miss, but overall, every movie that I have seen, minus Hellboy and Aquaman, have been very, very enjoyable. Just overall.
I mean, this is definitely the best movie of the summer so far. Finally got a good one.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, like I said, 95 for me. There's always room for error. I love it, man. I was blown away, and I like I said, the more I think about it, the more I just love this. I love this movie. So that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
What are we reviewing next? Stranger Things 3, maybe. I know that comes out tomorrow. Always Be My Maybe. I actually saw that the other day, so we can record that whenever Harlan is available. And
whenever we get the Peter tingles, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, the Peter tingles. We'll figure it out. Whatever our next review is, will be our next review. We'll let you guys know, but just to let you guys know as well, you can listen to this YouTube recording or just recording in general. You can listen to it on iTunes and Spotify at Broke Media, and you can follow us on Twitter at broke_boy_media, and you can also find us on Podbean as well. So that's just another extra alleyway that you can either listen to or watch the YouTube version of this review. And I think that's it. So we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
What? I'm kidding. Look, keep up the good work.
Because I am going on vacation.